Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Mai and today's video is this really cute apartment that I designed for sun and moon opposite roommates. And we're starting off here in San Myshuno in the Spice Market in the Culpeper Apartments. This one is just right across from the Rasoya household, and we're starting off with the kitchen because I always like starting off with the kitchen. I feel like the way that a kitchen is laid out, the amount of clutter, all of those things tell you a lot about a household. But yeah, this was actually really complicated for me though, because since it's the first part of this like common shared space and you have these two very different personalities, I don't know, I was just really struggling to find the right combination. I decided to choose these counters from the For Rent expansion pack and paired it with some appliances from Growing Together because I felt like something that they both had was the like dark tone, so like the black that they both have, and they also have a warm tone, so the gold on the appliances and just the warmer, lighter woods on the counters. So I felt like that was perfect. And over here I found the fireplace from the Paranormal Stuff pack, and it was in this kind of like muted, it's a bit of like a warm blue, so I thought that it was also really perfect for what I was trying to do here, the combination that I was trying to create. And I also paired it with a couch from, I think that couch is from Growing Together, and it also had all of the colors that I was looking for, which I'm really happy about because it ended up looking amazing. I think I also placed the coffee table from the new Crystal Creations stuff pack, which I am obsessed with. And I even used the bookshelves from it over there in the dining room. And please don't sue me, I did use the Paranormal Stuff pack chairs again. I think I've placed them in pretty much every build that I've made for the past like 5 or 6 builds. That might be an overstatement. Maybe it just feels that way because I notice how many times I use it. But it's just a really good pack and a really good chair. And here in the living room, I also use a love seat from high school years, and that chair, the like armchair, is from the Modern Luxe kit, which I just love it. I think it also felt very like moon vibes to me because of the texture that it has. And finding a curtain for this space was actually a little bit complicated because that window in the corner was originally like a single 3-piece, or like it was a 1 piece of 3 windows, but because I wanted to place that bathroom there, I actually divided it into the 2 window version with the 1 window version, but it was kind of like clipping into the wall, so none of the curtains fit. And I normally have a really hard time picking curtains, so yeah, it was just a little bit complicated, but I do end up going with these curtains from Vintage Glamour in this really perfect blue color that matched the fireplace and the couch, and you know, it was the perfect muted blue. And over here on the side, since the bars didn't really like match up, I added the one from Modern Luxe kit, and it looked perfect at the beginning. I thought it looked nice, and then later on I realized that it like wasn't really matching up, so I had to figure that out. And I try to add a lot of plants, especially these sunflowers, because you know, one of the roommates is the sun. I also want to dive into that. When I was thinking about like, what I wanted to build next, I thought it would be really cool to make the sun and moon roommates apartment, but specifically they're secretly in love with each other. They're like very opposites, but you know, opposites attract, and obviously they're both very creative, and I don't know, I think they just end up falling in love and they don't even realize it at the beginning until one day it just like dawns on them that they love each other. And obviously you don't actually have to, like, it's not like forced on you to use this apartment for that exact gameplay, but I just thought it would be fun, and I love thinking about like little personalities for the people in my builds, and or the Sims in my builds, let's be real. And yeah, we're just coming back to the kitchen. I did give up on it briefly, but just finishing this cabinet situation because yeah, they just didn't really look right on this wall, so I do end up placing some shelves. I start off with these base game ones, and I do come back to them at the end. Here you'll just see me place the ones from the Home Chef Hustle kit, or Home Chef Hustle stuff pack, but yeah, I end up switching it back to the base game ones so that it's maybe a little bit more accessible. And just to make it a little brighter, I place these like base game fluorescent lights. And next to the door, I was trying to find an entryway table. I placed this one from Crystal Creations in the hallway, but I end up switching it for the bookshelf again, putting it in the hallway. I just thought it looked a little bit nicer and made the space a little bit more useful. And over here, I actually really like this little entryway area that I created. It's a little bit unconventional, I think. It doesn't look super natural maybe, or like just not very common that it would look this way. But I do like the way it looks. I used that mirror from Growing Together. I just paired it with that small table from Horse Ranch, and I think it looks great. I really wish we had more small tables like that. Hopefully in like the next few packs we get something that would fit in, like something that fits in smaller spaces, like spiral staircases, things like that. I feel like we get all of these small lots, but then not enough furniture that could actually fit in them. And we have finished with all the kitchen, the shared living space, adding an island to the kitchen and all of that. And we're starting off with the moon room. And this room was the one that I really had a vision for. I think I'm personally like a moon person. So the personality that I imagined is obviously they're a little bit dark, a little bit gloomy. I think that they are both very cerebral and very creative. So I added the new like jewelry making, crystal making table workshop thing, and I also added a desk because I imagined that they were both a writer and a crystal creator. I don't really know what the kind of word for that would be because I don't think that they just make jewelry, but I do think it would be cute if they like make the sun jewelry sometimes. And yeah, I think I use a lot from Crystal Creations in here. I think I just really love that stuff pack, and I'm just a little bit obsessed with it right now. I think it definitely inspired this build in a really big way. And I mean, I'm not complaining. It's a really great pack. I just really love all of the little pieces in it, and I've been finding myself trying to find any excuse to use them practically everywhere. And another pack that I ended up using a lot in this build is High School Years. I didn't realize how many like moon and sun themed items there are there. But yeah, I used this wardrobe from High School Years, and I also, in the sun's room, I have the bed from High School Years as well. And yeah, this is where I also realized that I want them to have a cat. So I end up placing all of like the cat necessities later in post-production, but yeah, this is kind of where I realized that I want that. And I found this perfect mirror from Werewolves. Not saying that the person here is a werewolf, but this mirror worked so perfectly in here. I don't think that I could have found anything better. It's so stunning, and there's even like little crystals on the shelf on it, which I thought was so cool. And next to the wardrobe, I also placed a plant. I think, yeah, I use this one from Growing Together in the same swatch that the nightstands are in. And I also use that lamp from Growing Together, which was in the exact same swatch. And I am trying to find some like wall decorations because we need them. We have this very blank wall with absolutely nothing going for it. So I'm just trying to find like moon themed items to place on it. And really like right now we don't find too much, but in post-production I find some more that are, I think there's just like prints that are in the debug menu, and they're so stunning. You might have seen like a little bit of it in the thumbnail, and you're gonna see more in the screenshots, but they're so beautiful. And I pretty much just make like a gallery wall on this big blank wall with well, yeah, a bunch of other little moon decorations. And this is the bed that I was talking about that I used for the sun, and I also placed these High School Years nightstands. And yeah, in this room I used a lot of like orange, a lot of yellow, and a lot of pink because I felt like, yeah, sunrise colors, I guess sunset colors as well. And the personality that I had in mind for the sun is that obviously they're very bright and outgoing and cheerful, and I love these curtains because I felt like obviously they wouldn't really want to keep the sun out too much. But anyways, back to their personality. I imagine them to just be like very happy and creative as well, just like the moon would be. And I felt like maybe they were a teacher. I thought that would be a really cute profession for them. And yeah, we're just adding some rugs around here. I really liked this one from Jungle Adventure because it felt very, yeah, it just felt very happy and bright, but I think it was also just a little bit too overpowering. So I'm just trying to find a really cool way to like make a rug collage for them. And I really love this rug from Vintage Glamour, the like circle rug with kind of like the little rays coming out of it. It just looked like the sun to me. So yeah, I knew I had to put it in here. And I think I also use one from high school years, another one from the Crystal Creation stuff pack, and that pink one with the mountains is from, I think, Horse Ranch. And yeah, it just had all the colors that I was looking for. It looks great, really ties the entire room together in my opinion. And this little desk that I put in, I think it's also from Paranormal. Yeah, it's just perfect. And I pair it with a pastel pop desk chair and computer. And I also put in a little guitar so that they can play their music, because again, I felt like they were really creative. So adding an instrument felt right. And I love this little mirror from Movie Hangout stuff. Yeah, it's one of the very like early stuff packs, and I don't really use it very often, but I do really love that mirror. And again, it just matched, had all the colors that I was looking for. So I went ahead and added that in. And I also placed a lot of seating in this room because, you know, since they're very outgoing, I thought that they'd probably have some friends over, and yeah, their friends would need a place to sit in case the living room was busy. And again, finding some wall decorations for this room as well. I pretty much just like would go into the search bar and look up like sun or moon and just try to see if there were any like very specific sun or moon themed items. And I did find a few, and even like the chandelier that I picked for this room is called like the Three Suns or something. And this painting, I think, is from City Living, the Golden Sun, but it wasn't really working in this space. I did really want to use it, but maybe for the next one. And I obviously had to include this little sun like wall decoration from Base Game. It was perfect. I wish we had like more swatches of it so that I would be able to combine it with a couple of things. I'm just like loosely placing items right now. Later on in post-production, I actually make sure that it looks good. But anyways, we've moved on to the bathroom now, and I picked this wallpaper from high school years again. I'm so shocked that I used it so much, but I just really love the colors. It has like the dark blue, which is very like moon vibes, and then it also has some gold, which made me think of the sun. So yeah, I was just trying to find a like a tile floor that actually like worked with these colors, because they're very bold, and I don't know, I just couldn't find something that matched it perfectly. And this is where I realized that like the curtain bar is kind of wacky and like sticks out and doesn't really look good, but I just end up fixing it later. And I use this shower tub combo from, I think it's Vampires, and I also use a toilet from Cats and Dogs, which I feel like I use that toilet a lot. I really like the style of it. And originally for the sink, I wanted to place a couple of counters and just like place a sink on that and just kind of call it a day. But yeah, it just didn't really look right, so I do end up changing it later to one from Growing Together. And I do also place some laundry, so you have in-suite laundry. But yeah, I placed the hamper. I ended up placing the hamper in the hallway later, which I know is not like the nicest place for a hamper, but I don't know. It's the place where it looked the best for this build, so I just decided to go with it. Obviously, if it really bothers you and you don't like it, you can move it somewhere else. But it just like, I don't know, it felt way too chunky in the bedrooms. Sometimes I just really don't like the way that hampers look in the bedrooms. But here are the sinks from Growing Together that I change it to because it looks way better. And later on, when I'm like adding all of the cat items, I remove one of them because I needed the space for the litter box, unfortunately. But I think it also does just make more sense to have the one sink than the two sinks, because I feel like originally this house would not have been built for roommates who need two separate sinks. It would have just been made for a family or something. And here in the hallway, I switched that entryway table to the bookshelf, and I spend forever trying to pick out a rug that looks nice in this space. So bear with me as I face one of my biggest demons in The Sims. But here we are finally in the screenshots. I really loved how this all turned out. I'm very proud of myself for the like shared common area. Yeah, I was really unsure if I was going to be able to fit like both of these styles in here, but it ends up looking so nice. And I think that, I don't know, those two things, they ended up really harmonizing nicely. I just love all the furniture pieces, and this is the final look for the hallway. I changed it up a bit, and I also added some of those cat trees, and I sized one down so that it like I don't know, it looks a little bit nicer, like blends it together a little bit better. And this is the bathroom, and there you can see how I changed the litter box there. And yeah, just added like very minimal clutter. I don't think that they would like to have too much clutter when they're sharing a bathroom. And this is the final look for the son's bedroom. You can see I added a lot of plants and some like cloud themed items around. I just felt like, yeah, the sun pairs with like really well with the cloud, and also those little starlights, because the sun is technically a star. And I don't know, this room just feels really bright, happy, fun. And here is the moon room, which I think is my room. And there you can see all of the like moon decals that I found, the moon prints. It just looks amazing. This is definitely my favorite. And this does also mean the last space, the last few screenshots. This is such a beautiful apartment. I really want to live in here so bad. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. Bye buds, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Comment and share with your friends. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.